The story begins in Germany, deep inside the Nazi war machine. Hitler's regime was obsessed with technology, pouring resources into advanced designs. One of the most fearsome was the Messerschmitt Me 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. Sleek, fast, and deadly, it could fly at speeds that Allied pilots could barely dream of. Imagine being a bomber pilot in 1944, thinking you're safe in the skies, then out of nowhere, a silver jet cuts through the clouds, firing cannons at lightning speed. The Allies called it the Stormbird. But Germany built too few, too late. Had it been unleashed earlier, the war in the air might have looked very different. But speed wasn't the only secret weapon. Across the seas, the Germans built something that seemed straight out of science fiction, the U-boat type XXI. Unlike earlier submarines, this one could stay underwater far longer, powered by revolutionary batteries. It could dive deeper, strike silently, and vanish before anyone knew what had happened. Some historians even call it the grandfather of the modern submarine. Imagine if hundreds had been deployed before the war ended. The Atlantic supply lines might have been cut, changing everything. Meanwhile, in the shadows of occupied Europe, another terrifying project was being prepared, the V-2 rocket. This was not just a missile, it was the world's first long-range guided ballistic rocket. It rose into the sky faster than the speed of sound, making it impossible to detect or intercept. When it landed, entire city blocks were wiped out. London, Antwerp, Paris, no city felt safe. And yet, the V-2 was more than just a weapon of war. Its technology laid the foundation for the rockets that would later take humanity into space. Strange, isn't it, that something designed to destroy could one day help us reach the stars? But Germany wasn't alone in secret experimentation. The United States had its own hidden projects, some successful, some nearly forgotten. The most famous, of course, was the Manhattan Project, which created the atomic bomb. Scientists in Los Alamos worked under extreme secrecy, racing against time, unsure if the chain reaction would even work. On July 16, 1945, the desert lit up brighter than the sun as the first nuclear explosion shook the earth. Days later, Hiroshima and Nagasaki faced the unthinkable. For the first time in history, a single bomb could end a city. The world had changed forever. But the U.S. also worked on stranger ideas like the bat bomb. Yes, you heard that right. Tiny bats, fitted with miniature incendiary bombs, were released from planes. The idea? They would fly into Japanese houses, roost in the wooden rafters, and set entire cities on fire. It sounds almost unbelievable, but it was tested, and it worked, though never used in combat. Back in the Pacific, the Japanese had their own secret weapons. One of the strangest was the Fugo balloon bomb. Carried by jet stream winds across the Pacific Ocean, these balloons were designed to drift thousands of miles and explode over American cities. It was the first intercontinental weapon ever used in war. Some even landed in the U.S. In Oregon, one tragically killed 6 people, the only wartime casualties on the American mainland. But Japan's ambitions went even further. Their Navy built the I-400 submarines, unlike anything seen before. These massive underwater giants could carry 3 bombers inside, surface near enemy coasts, launch planes, and then vanish again beneath the waves. Imagine a submarine that could also launch an air raid. It was an incredible design, but the war ended before they were fully unleashed. Let's step back to Europe, where another dark creation was in the works. The Nazis dreamed of a super heavy tank, a rolling fortress on tracks, the Land Cruiser P. 1000 Rate. Over 1,000 tons in size, armed with massive naval guns, it would have been the largest tank ever built. A monster so big, it could crush houses just by driving over them. Thankfully, it never left the drawing board because if it had, it might have rewritten ground warfare forever. And then, there was a project that even today sparks debate: Nazi wonder weapons. Strange experiments like the so-called die Glock or the bell, rumored to be a device capable of manipulating gravity or time. Some dismiss it as myth, others claim secret archives hide the truth. Was it science fiction, Nazi propaganda, or something the world was never meant to see? Before we reveal the final secret weapon, let me ask you something. Do you think history could have taken a darker turn if these inventions had been deployed sooner? Or do you believe human resilience and unity would still have triumphed? Finally, we come to one of the most chilling ideas of all, biological weapons. Both Germany and Japan experimented with diseases as weapons. Unit 731 in Japan carried out horrific tests releasing plague-infected fleas, experimenting with anthrax, and even testing on prisoners. These were not just weapons of destruction, they were weapons of terror, hidden in silence for decades after the war. When you look back, you realize World War I wasn't just fought with bullets and bravery, it was fought with secrets, with weapons born from desperation, fear, and ambition. Some became the foundation of modern science. Others remain locked away as haunting reminders of what humans are capable of in war. In the end, these secret weapons show us both the brilliance and the darkness of human invention. They remind us that every new technology carries a question. Will it be used to create or to destroy? What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.